Hello guys, Bendak here and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to be covering an UEC method to be selling weapons and also be doing tasks while doing so. This way you can avoid doing cargo trips and or duplication glitches like some people do to other ships. Now to start this money making method, you want to start heading into Port Tesla. If as a new player you selected New Babbage as your starting location, Port Tesla essentially is the station above New Babbage, which is your starting location. Now, once you select Port Tesla, like mentioned before, it is the station above New Babbage. You can make your way here from anywhere from Area 18 or any of the other starting locations. Now, once we arrive to Port Tesla, we're going to be looking at what we call the investigation missions. And these investigation missions, you'll have one that tells you to look for the whereabouts of someone. Now, the name changes depending on your mission because they're randomly generated. In my case, I got Orlando Grossman, whereabouts unknown. Now, this mission pays 34,000 UEC, which is a really good mission, or at least a good pay for a mission that only takes about 6 minutes. Like I said, you will be finding them on the investigation tab. Will be the ones that pay 34k. Now, I do believe you have to do about 2 of the investigation missions before actually unlocking this good pay ones, and they are located on Microtech. I'm not sure if any other stations have missions like this. So before we embark on this mission, we're going to be buying the essentials. Once you arrive to Port Tesla, this is where you're going to be storing your ship. If you look straight at the hot dog stand and take a left, this is where you're going to be finding the medical clinic. Now, if you're a veteran of Star Citizen and you wish to skip to the money making method, you can go ahead and click to the timestamp marked here on the video. But once you go past the reception area to your left, you will have the Olympus Principles Insurance sign. This is where you're going to regenerate or change your regeneration point by clicking on the tablet. Now, once you set your regeneration point and buy some medical supplies like a med gun on the pharmacy, we're going to be taking the elevator so we can start buying some firearms. At least we're going to be needing 1 pistol and at least 2 or 3 extra mags. I would also recommend a medium-sized armor. Now we're going to be taking a right to the elevator. It's literally to the left or right of the medical clinic, depending on how you come through. You click on the Galleria tab, which is the second option. And once we take the elevator and we head up to the Galleria, the weapon or armory will be located to the right. You're going to be seeing some gaming or vending machines to your left. And here where the mannequins are saluting, this is where you're going to buy armor and weapons. I recommend just buying a pistol and about 3 mags. You can also buy them from the weapon rack. I recommend using the kiosk because it's more easy to use. My recommendation for firearms would be the Arclight and the S38, I believe is what's called. I always forget the name of this pistol, so let me go ahead and look it up for you. So it is called the S38 pistol, correct. So S38 and about 2 or 3 mags should do for this mission. So now going back up the elevator and heading to the hangar area, we're going to be recovering our ship. Make sure you have med pens and a med pistol equipped and your firearm with your magazines. So now we're going to be getting our Aegis Titan, which I stored and now I'm going to retrieve. This is to show you can do this with any type of ship. Obviously, if you have a bigger ship like a Cutlass Black or a Freelancer, you're going to be able to haul more equipment every time you do the mission. Also, here in Port Tesla, you can rent the Cutlass Black and also rent the Freelancer. So keep that in mind. The Cutlass Black is about 45k and the Freelancer is somewhere about 68k. So now once you take off of Port Tesla, you're going to be looking for the mission on the map, which is located in the Microtech Logistics Depot, S4 D13. You can just mark this and set it as a waypoint. You can do this by double clicking on the icon and clicking on route. Once it gives you the route, you can hold B and engage into your quantum drive. So once you do the quantum travel, you should be there in about maybe 1 minute to 2 minutes. once you arrive to the destination, or you're actually flying over the destination, just to give you a rundown, you will be considered as a trespasser. Once you arrive to the station, you will have heavily armed guards. They're sometimes really buggy, and sometimes they spawn on top of each other, so keep that in mind. They are well armed, and they do have decent gear. With that said, once we land on the station, I'll show you guys how to transfer the loot easily and safely. So now that I'm close to land, you can land on either the left side or right side of the facility. They do have 2 landing pads. They're reasonably small, so if you're running a freelancer, you can land on there as well, as long as you move a lot forward when getting to the launch pad. As you can see, they are located kind of underneath me. The snow are covering the pads, but once I get there, you'll see what I'm talking about. So you'll have one on the left and one on the right. Like I said, if you're using the freelancer, all you really want to do is move a lot forward. That way you have space to get out. Now that we have arrived to the destination, I'll show you guys essentially how this money system works. So the way this method works is by using the station's inventory. As you can see right here on the right side, we have Microtech Logistics inventory and my vehicle inventory. So as you see, I have a couple weapons in here, and this is from like a day or 2 ago when I did this mission. So as you can see, I'm transferring them into my vehicle. When you're doing this method, weapons is basically the best way of making money. They'll be somewhere around 1.3 to 1.7k per weapon. So in some cases, this mission has about 20 to 25 enemies, which if you take all the weapons with you, you'll be making somewhere around 35k in addition to the 34k from the mission, and the other probably about 40k you'll make from all the armor if you haul it all back. If the rain gets on your way, you can press Alt and X to clean your visor, by the way. It's a little bit annoying when you have rain going down your helmet while you're going inside the building. Now, once you go here into the main facility, you open this door. I would recommend having your weapon out because there are enemies in this location. They'll spawn sometimes in this locker area, down that hall, and here on this main area. Now here in the reception desk, we'll be heading to the back. We see some firearms here on the floor. So basically somebody might have run this mission before me. And as you can see, they left the weapons. Now these weapons are about 1.5k each. So as the grub I am, I'm going to grab all these items and put them on the Microtech Logistics inventory. You can see I got 2 free guns right there. So we're going to close the inventory and we're going to go ahead and keep going back. As I said, you're going to head behind the reception desk, which apparently is just a floating box back there. And we're going to go back to these elevators. Now, keep in mind that these elevators back here seem to be the only ones to work every time I'm here. So always make sure you're walking back here. Now we're going to be heading to the security checkpoint number 1. You can go to both security checkpoints and actually kill all the enemies, but we'll be doing this one first. Now this one has a lot of enemies. So once these doors opens, you'll see one security guard right there. And we have a couple that spawned down here on the right side. So once you take these guys off, if I could hit my shots. Well, we got a guy shooting us from the entryway as well now. So once you drop all these guys, sometimes you'll have this happen, that they spawn on top of each other for some reason. So make sure you bring those mags with you. So now that we've killed everybody, that yellow door back there just closed out. That means we're basically safe to loot the bodies. And now my med gun's not working, so let's go ahead and pull it back out. Okay, there we go. So now that we killed everybody, we're good to loot them. Well, never mind, I left one. Okay, now we're all safe. So we're good to loot them now that that yellow door closed back there. So the way the method works is you're going to click on their inventory. Not this inventory, but the one at the top right. You're going to open it. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the local inventory to the left and their inventory to the right. Sometimes when you do it the other way around, it bugs out. So you want to do it this way. And you're going to grab their undersuit. Just grab their undersuit, drag it to the other side, and they'll take all the items, ammo, and grenades they have on themselves. And you'll put them on the inventory. Now you'll drag the weapons. Like I said, these are the money makers. So now that you've seen how the method works, I'll do it with another body so you guys can see. So you click on their body, you open the inventory at the top right, you drag the undersuit to the local inventory, and take the weapon. Now, so you guys can see how we do the mission and get the other 34K, I'm going to go ahead and start fast forwarding the footage so you guys can see how I complete the mission. So now once you hop over that platform, you're going to go down this hole, and this is where you're basically going to be searching for that dead person. So he spawns on like 4 different areas. So you have under that fan and this little cubby back here. And in this case, he's dead back here. So once you click on his body, these are going to be the easiest 34K you've made in Star Citizen. So as you can see, I now have 400,000 UEC. Now to get out, you're going to follow this path back, basically where you dropped from the hole. You'll take a left right here. The reason why I'm giving you this pathway is because we already cleared this area, as you saw before. We're going to go down this little hole, and we're going to look up here on the left. Even though it looks like a jump you can't make, you're able to actually jump up here. Now, when you do this mission for the first time, there is a big chance of enemies spawning back here and coming in from those doors back there. And now all you got to do is retrace your steps. Make sure you loot everybody on your way back, and let's go and head back to the ship. And back here, I almost forgot to tell you guys, make sure you guys loot these civilians. Well, they're not really civilians if they got guns, but you open their inventory and they do have mining tools. You can take their pistols if you want to, but they're mining tools. If you are going on mining trips with your friends, you'll basically get unlimited mining tools from this mission. So make sure you grab those. So now that we're back in the ship, as you can see, we have the local inventory, and I do have my vehicle inventory to the left. So as you guys can see, I've looted a lot of armor components and weapons. These are the weapons I had from the beginning when I stored them on my ship. Now, if we go here and we sort by weapons, remember, weapons are the money makers. So you want to click on weapons on the filters. This will put all the weapons there. And what you could do is you can either drag, or you can click on the move all button. Sometimes it glitches out when they multiply like that. You just want to let it refresh and then click on all of them. Now, what I'm showing you here is me dragging them all, but also look at the percentage of our ship, how it's going up on the storage. So like I said, weapons is our priority. Looking at these 12 to 14 weapons we have there, that secures us about 18K UEC. So now that we're done with grabbing all the weapons, we're going to now do all the armor, which is also a moneymaker. When doing the armor, you're looking for 2 of the models that pay the most, which are the ones down here. These 2, they pay about 1.1 to 1.3k UEC, so whenever you're grabbing armor, you want to grab those 2 pieces. Now, the one with the cape, I'm pretty sure you also get like 1.1, so make sure you grab those. This armor that I'm wearing is normally about probably 600 UEC. This mask, the white one I'm wearing, is about 1 UEC, so you make sure you grab the running looking mask. They're about 600 UEC each. So now we're going to head back to Port Tesla. So on my way to Port Tesla, I noticed that the investigation mission already popped up. And as you can see, we spent about 10 minutes, 15 minutes down there clearing the section. I was actually explaining and showing you guys how to do the mission. but it normally takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete the whole thing. So as you can see, the mission's already back there. So now we're going to go back to Port Tester and sell our items. So as you can see, if you have a big ship and a lot of space, you could probably run this 2 to 3 times before you even have to go to Port Tester, maximizing your profit to almost 300k per hour if you do this method. So I've already transferred all my loot, and now I'm here in the kiosk to start selling the weapons. So I'm just gonna select it by personal weapons. In the sell tab, we click personal weapons. Now you can scroll down. It normally takes a while since you're gonna have a lot of grenades and stuff. These LMGs are from a different mission. But if you scroll down and click the next page, well, actually we can type the name, just type in P4. It's P4, Karna, and S71s, the ones you're going to be finding in this mission. As you can see, it's 1.3k per sale. We were at 408k, I believe, and now we're up to almost 420k in a couple of sales. So as you can see, you do make a decent amount of money making this method. As you can see here, I did forget to type in the 7. So I scrolled down and looked up for the S71. But as you can see, S71s are about 1.3k each. So that's going to bring our total to about maybe 430, I believe, once we're done selling. And not to mention, we had about 4 to 5 Karna rifles. I'm not showing you guys how to sell the armor in this section. You guys can probably figure it out just like I'm doing with the weapons. So as you can see, in just one trip, we made roughly somewhere around 70k. And this is while me explaining to you guys how to do it. So as you can see, if I did this speed running it, I would be making about 80 to 90k per run. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing for more Star Citizen and Escape from Tarkov content. Peace.